welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about a little tool, a system, a thing that I created to help me keep track of the pin images that I create for every blog post and every YouTube video. If you watch my 2020 Pinterest process video, I'll put it up here as well as link it down below, you know I go into way more detail. So you know that I create 3 to 7 pin images for every blog post and YouTube video. I upload them to Tailwind and then I schedule them out onto the different boards that I have created, and ultimately they get pinned to Pinterest. It hasn't always been this way. I mean, like anything in life, I've learned and grown from it and created my own systems that work for me, but this has really helped me organize and remember and just know where the different pin images that I've created are. This just helps me keep track of them. Of course, there is no right or wrong way to do this. This is something that I've built in like the last month or so because I needed a different system and way to do it, and I've really liked how I've organized it thus far. So if this works for you, awesome, go ahead and go create your own. And if not, no big deal. To find your own way to do it, let me know if there is a better way, because I am always looking for better ways to do things. Okay, so I'm going to show you what this looks like right now. Here it is. Ta-da! There it is. Awesome. This probably looks like a whole lot of nothing to you, but to me it makes a lot of sense, and I'm gonna explain more. So I created this in Numbers on my MacBook Pro. You can use Excel or whatever format works for you. But basically I created this table, okay? So here I have, and I'm gonna use YouTube as an example. So here I have my YouTube videos, and then on this line I have my designs, and obviously I go up to 9 plus the original video. So I've mentioned this in other videos, but I usually work on Pinterest once a week. Like that's my goal, is to spend 1 to 2 hours max working on Pinterest and scheduling out my pins for the week. So every Wednesday I get onto my table that I've created, this document here, and I add in any new YouTube videos that I've published. So you can see if I go here, I, had how to set up featured boards on Pinterest, and then my new blog fails. So that's like part 1 of my new blog, and then this is part 2. So then what I do is I go over here and I add them to my table. So these are like my latest YouTube videos. So far it's up to date because I just worked on this yesterday, which was Wednesday, and I add them in here. And then what I do is I head over to CANVA. So I'll go to this, and again, if you've watched my other videos, actually I have a video of how to create pin images for your blog post using Canva, and I think I create 2 pin images in like under 6 minutes. It's super easy to work with if you use the templates, which is how I got started. And then I kind of came up with my own templates that have, my color theme, the fonts that I want, and just the layout that I really like. So I stick to those same 5 templates for every single YouTube video and blog post. So here you can see I created these pin images for this video. So make money blogging, you can see I have it in right here, 5 Amazon affiliate blog post ideas. And so then what I did is I just went through using my template and inserted and changed, obviously the titles, the text, and what that looks like. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So then when I'm happy with my pin images, I download them and they get saved to my computer. You can see here they are. This is what I worked on yesterday. Here's those. I think I came up with 7. So yeah, 7. So here's the 7 different ones that I created. And from there, I upload them to Tailwind. So I just drag and drop them on, and then here they live in my queue. You can see that these are the pin images that I created that I'm talking about. So these are waiting to be scheduled in my drafts in the queue of Tailwind. But, and this is the thing that I've been doing for about a month now, what I do next is I go over to my table again and I write in C for created. So you can see here, I did have all of these filled with blank white cells with C. So let's say that I had created, 5 new pin images for day 2 for my latest YouTube video. I would just go, C, 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 C. How many did I say? 4 or 5? 5 pin images. I would do that. Okay, so this to me means that I have created these pin images, and they're on Tailwind, but they're not published or they're not scheduled out on Pinterest yet. But I know that they are created and sitting in that draft area of Tailwind, so that I can just go down the line when I work on this again next Wednesday and schedule out these pin images to be published, at a future date. So I'm going to delete this so I don't get confused, because I did not create those yet. But then what I would do is I would go to Tailwind. So here again, I have already loaded up my pin images, and I would add them to the different boards. So what I would do is I would add them to my boards that I want. You can see all the different boards that apply. I would enter a pin title as well as a description. Maybe if I have room, add them to my tribes, change the link, set the interval, and then add them to my queue where they fill in. So when I do that for one of the pin images, then I go back to my table and I find, you know, whichever YouTube video, blog post that was, and I just delete this and I fill it with the color. So I know that I have put 3 different pin images onto, you know, between 4 to 10 different boards on Pinterest, and I have them scheduled out. Again, real quick, I'm gonna take this off so I don't confuse myself here. Okay, oops, hold on. There we go. So doing it this way with this format has really helped me stay organized and just know where my pin images live, because before I was keeping them on my computer and then I was uploading them maybe if I remembered that I had them, or what I was doing, you can see down here, is I was creating one at a time, like I was trying to play catch up. And that just wasn't working. I was coming up with a totally new pin image like layout and look every single time. But now I have those 5 consistent templates. So when I have a new video, it's easy for me to go into Canva and just create those new pin images using the 5 templates that I have. What I also like about this table is that it gives me such a visual for the pin images that I've created. So I know that down here, I've only created one pin image for these YouTube videos, where these are really great YouTube videos that I think would do well on Pinterest, but I just haven't taken the time because I didn't have my template set up, which again, just trying to make things easier and faster and smoother, ultimately quicker. Where now with the templates, I can go in and create those other 5, put them out, save them to my drafts, and then know when I just like notch them off and they get published. Another thing that I do, and this is just maybe for my brain, maybe yours too, but when I come in next Wednesday and add, well, this video will, you know, be up here for the new YouTube videos that I've created, and then I create my designs. So I will go with my latest YouTube videos first and then work my way down the table for the pin images that have been published the least, if that makes sense. So you can see that like these ones are at 2 and these 2 are in the queue in the drafts area but only have 1. So then I'll do the latest YouTube videos and the pin images first, and then go to these 2, and then maybe, you know, start here again and then go back up to the newest ones. I don't know, I have this whole system in my head. But this really just helps me keep track of everything, of all those pin images that I've created, and have a whole system for making sure that those actually get published on Pinterest. Because I don't want to put all this work into creating these pin images and not knowing what I published or what I created or what I did. Like, this helps me know exactly what I did with them, and then is also the proof that they were then published and used on Pinterest. Now, I could get into more detail of like when I published it and what boards I published it to, but I don't see a reason to keep track of that. Yet, at least, I haven't seen any like benefit, and it would just be way more work. Plus, Pinterest now, you know, with the new algorithm and what they're saying is they like new and fresh pin images. So yeah, it would be beneficial to like create new ones to less boards anyway. That's another story for another video, not this one, but just something to keep in mind as you are continuing with your own Pinterest process. So that is my latest Pinterest hack to keep track of, you know, the pin images that I've created. I wish that I could say that there's a link down below that you can click on and download this table for yourself, because that would really help my list building efforts that I'm getting into next month, and something that you should think about if you are a blogger and looking to grow your audience to make money blogging. But I don't. But that's okay, because like you guys know, I'm trying to focus on other things. I'm trying to get this blog built and done to be able to write and start getting content out there and actually like have a place for it to live. In the meantime, if you think that this would work for you, go ahead and create your own. I hope this video gave you some inspiration of how you can keep track of your pin images. Obviously, this has evolved as I've grown. Like I said, I've been using the like C for completed, as well as filling in the cells with the different colors for about a month now, and I really like it. I'm definitely going to stick with that and maybe like become more detailed in the future if needed, but again, I don't see a need for it right now. So this is what's working for me. Hope it works for you guys. Let me know what does work for you guys, because like I said at the beginning, I'm always looking for new ideas or easier way to do things. Oh, and something else that I am experimenting with, I am now down to publishing a pin only 9 times a day. So I think one of the last videos I did, I was doing between 11 to 20. But I've been doing 5 of my own consistently, and then 3 repins and I have seen the same high numbers. So if I don't have to be publishing, even though I use Tailwind, that takes time to obviously go in and set all that up to have them on the schedule and ready to go in the future. But if I don't have to do, you know, 11 to 20 pins a day, instead I can do 9. Like, that makes a lot of sense to me. So we'll see. I'll probably be sharing those numbers with you guys in a future video, maybe. I actually have no idea. It's not on the schedule, but it could be. Anyway, thanks for being here again. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Be sure to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. This is universal for like and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified when I post a new video. And yeah, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are. Thanks for being here. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.